Hello, everybody. I'm David.
And I'm Evie.
And we'd like to welcome you to this week's abbreviated version of the Little Guys Home Technology live stream podcast. We're coming to you live from Okina, Illinois, in the back of the Little Guys store. Actually, in the Little Guys studio.
Yes, correct.
Today's show is sponsored by, as they always are, AudioQuest, Integra, and Golden Ear, 3 companies dedicated to high-performance audio and getting you the best sound possible. The Little Guys is located at
19031 South Old LaGrange Road, which just runs parallel to the LaGrange Road. It's sort of weird. It's just like 191st and, I was going to say Halsted, 191st and LaGrange Road. If you're coming from the north, you get the light at 191st, turn left right between the Denny's and the White Castle, which is Old LaGrange Road.
There you go. The store is open Monday through Thursday, 10 until 6, Friday and Saturday, 10 until 5. We are closed on Sundays, and yes, we are having a moving sale. I wrote in this postcard thing that it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, but it actually was twice in a lifetime.
Twice in a lifetime. We moved once before. Right. Well, we moved twice before, but the first time we just moved down. We moved down the plaza, so we just hauled everything down there.
But this is a really exceptional opportunity to save 10, 20, 30, 40, 50% on some things. We have a table full of AudioQuest premium cables that are 75% off, demo cables that we had in systems.
Those are killer deals.
I mean, there's some crazy stuff there. It'd give you an opportunity to own some cables and wires you would never own, or you would never spend the money on or invest the money into that you should have, but you didn't. Now you have the opportunity to buy them at a crazy low price.
Yep.
There's RCA cables. I think there's a power cord or two. There's some speaker cables. There's all kinds of stuff. So you should check that out. The entire store is on sale. We are slowly getting everything off of display as we approach our downsize and go into a smaller space. We don't know where that smaller space is going to be. We're still waiting for some response from the existing landlord.
Right.
And I understand how busy they are with the unbelievable amount of properties they have to manage in this plaza. It's
Now.
All right, never mind. So there's all kinds of deals from, obviously high-end electronics and projectors and screens and furniture and, credenzas, things to put your gear in, things to put your gear on, that kind of stuff. There's amazing deals. So every kind of speaker in the world, subwoofers, in-walls, on-walls, everything you can think, from all the name brands that we sell, Sonance, Origin, PSB, Klipsch, every brand we sell, we are clearing out the demos and making deals on. So you should come and take advantage of this. There's just some unbelievably great opportunities that you can partake in, and the prices are crazy. It's kind of crazy or whatever. So we need to make them go. We need to get them out of here. There's also a lot of furniture, like chairs that we used for in our Digital Music Experience Center. There's some real cool little black leather chairs. There's some cool tables.
I doubt they're leather.
Well, whatever. Pleather. Black-looking chairs. And there's some real cool little tables. There's all kinds of stuff. Just come and check it all out. See what's there. Acoustic panels. I don't know. There's just tons of stuff. Lots of good stuff. Crazy good deals. We're not leaving. We are still staying around. We're just downsizing the space that we're in and cutting down the retail aspect of the business a little bit and focusing on the things like remodeling, when somebody's remodeling or building a new home or doing a complete system, focusing a little bit more on that kind of stuff and control and the rest of it. So and we've been doing that all along. We're just focusing on it a little bit harder. That's all. And we invite you in. Again, Monday through Thursday, 10 until 6. Friday and Saturday, 10 until 5, and closed on Sundays, 191st and LaGrange in Mokina, Illinois. All right. We want to talk a little bit about wireless and what that means. Everybody thinks that wireless is magic.
Everything's wireless.
Everything's wireless. The builder will tell you everything's wireless. The electrician will tell you, you can just do that wirelessly. Or your neighbor down the street, you do that wirelessly. There are some things that work well wirelessly. Controlling your equipment can work well wirelessly if there's a wired control system behind the scenes. But that's really the extent of it. Wireless music to speakers is not as good as when it's wired. Now, there are very few, but there are some rare situations where the only way to get something somewhere is wireless, right? And if that's the case, then you make the best of it and you deal with it. Mm-hmm. But if there's an opportunity to pull a wire, to run a wire, that's what should be done. And that's the right way to do it. Even these distributed small music systems that live on the networks, they can be wireless. Like one of them's wired and then the rest of them can be wireless and they feed off of each other. They see. It's not the best way to do it. The best way to do it is with a wire. The overall performance can be better, and the reliability is definitely better. It can be controlled, whereas the wireless thing just can't be. And then when you're streaming video wirelessly, it's just a bad idea. It just doesn't work as well as people have come to expect things to work. I mean, it used to be when you worked on your computer that if it took a minute or 30 seconds or 40 seconds to load something, you didn't think much about it. That's the way they all worked in the beginning. Right now, if it doesn't happen in a half of a second, you're like, what's going on? What's wrong with it? You hit 3 more buttons, right? There's something wrong or whatever. So we've come to expect better performance from the stuff, and wireless just isn't the first approach. It's not the best approach for those kind of things.
Let's talk wireless speakers a little bit. People don't want to run the wires or can't run the wires, whatever, want wireless rear speakers. You have to get the power from somewhere. The speakers have to get power. So that's not wireless.
Right, it's got to be plugged into the wall somewhere,
right.
unless you get battery operated.
Battery operated, which is
not so good.
Not so good. Right.
Not so good. So, it's just a good idea to think about it. Look at the specific application that you're focused on, and decide that does the wireless thing apply here? Is there a way to get a wire to this location? We do it with networks all the time. The cable box. The DirecTV and AT&T and all these, and Comcast is talking about it. They want to do these wireless boxes. Well, they want to do wireless boxes because now their installers don't even have to plug the wire into the right place.
Right.
Right? They don't have to worry about that they put it in the wrong jack or the wrong spot. They don't even have to think about it, right? It would make life easier for them. Except that it decreases the performance. It makes it less likely to be reliable, and frankly, it doesn't work that well. There are some exceptions. Sometimes, once in a while, it's okay, or it's good enough to make somebody happy. But for the most part, it's just not a great concept. And if you can, again, get a wire there, that's what you should do. It's just really important. We're talking networks, we're talking speakers. We're basically in all situations, to get a wire there is better. To control it with over the network that you've created, if you create a good Wi-Fi network, to control it from your phone or your tablet, your handheld remote control, to do that wirelessly, that's great. That's absolutely okay. That works fine. That's no problem, assuming the network is correct. But that's the part of wireless that's good, not the actual functioning of the components and the rest of it.
Right.
And we deal with this every day, and I get that it would be easier if it was the other way, but there are limitations when you do things wirelessly, and it's just smarter to do a wire, and good wires. Cat 6 is pretty much the standard at this point in terms of wiring up network components and the rest of it. There's very little Cat 5 being used anywhere by people that know what they're doing. That's for sure. So much better to use Cat 6. There's even some Cats. Depending on your perspective, Cat 6A or Cat 7, depending on who you are and how you label your cables or whatever, that flat out really makes a difference. I mean, it's got thicker wires, frankly, and the ability to let even more signal come through. So you look at your internet speeds and you're paying for 50 or 75 or 150 or whatever speed that you're paying for, but you're not realizing it. One, you might have a router that doesn't allow it. You might have a switch that doesn't allow it. You might have a modem that's barely functioning correctly. The wiring between those devices might not be good enough. There's a lot of things that can slow that down. And analyzing that and figuring that out and making it right is the difference between really enjoying and having a functioning network that makes life way simpler and frankly makes life more enjoyable, because in today's world we're using it a lot. Mm-hmm. And those are little things that you should pay attention to and focus on to make sure that your systems are operating correctly. You know that if there was a wireless solution in a specific application that we thought was good enough, we'd say, okay, let's go. I mean, we're okay with that. We don't have a problem with it if it works right. And again, we run into a situation sometimes where we just have no choice, and then the person has to live with the consequences of what happens when you have a wireless situation. That's all. It's weird because it seems to go in like peaks and valleys. A couple of years ago, it was a big deal to have wireless speakers. Now, it doesn't seem to come up much anymore.
No.
Right? It doesn't happen very often. Wireless streaming, so Bluetoothing or AirPlaying from your device to another device, that's okay because it's got limited area that it's working within. It's typically functions okay. That makes sense. So that's it for wireless. We've been doing this a long time, and we kind of know what works and what doesn't work, and you can rely on us to give you the proper information and let you know kind of what's happening and the right way to do it. One of the other things I wanted to talk about was the difference. This has come up a couple times this week, and a completely right turn here, but it's come up a couple times this week, and that is the difference in subwoofers. I've mentioned this before, and those of you who know me have been through my subwoofer speech, but subwoofers make a huge difference on the overall impact and feel of the music listening experience and obviously the movie watching experience. And a good subwoofer isn't necessarily a big box. It's not necessarily a small box. It's the quality of the woofer itself, the quality of the enclosure makes a big difference, and then the amplifier that's designed specifically to work with that exact speaker. The engineering and the design, the time and the effort. Not just an amp slapped on a low bass driver and thrown in a cheap box. That is called a powered subwoofer, but the reality is it doesn't sound good. It's boom 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 boomy and not real tight, not real clean. And subwoofers done correctly are the difference between oh my god and oh that sounds good, that kind of thing. So huge difference. And again, it's not the size of the box. It's how big a space the woofer has to, generate bass within. It's what your particular requirements are. And no, it doesn't have to vibrate the floor. It doesn't have to shake the walls. In fact, it shouldn't necessarily or unnecessarily shake the walls and vibrate the floor. There are times when it's supposed to. But right. but for the most part, it's more a tight, clean, impacty type bass. And the ability of a sub to reproduce bass at different frequencies almost simultaneously is important. I mean, it needs to be able to give that impact and that feel and not sound bleh, and not sound like the car you pull up next to at the stoplight, right? That's just shaking and vibrating and the rust is falling off of the fenders and that
Sometimes
kind of thing.
That's my car.
That takes all the bass notes and puts them into one little space and then just pounds them, that kind of thing or whatever. That's not what it's about. So
it's not. You're not thinking, well, okay, you need a woofer for watching movies, but I only watch movies once in a while. All of today's network shows, and most on other stations, are broadcast in 5.1. It's not going to be long before we see Atmos, Dolby Atmos,
coming
broadcasting, and it's really sort of a simple test you can do yourself. Unplug your woofer.
Right, and listen to it.
Listen to some music, and then plug it back in and listen to music some more and see if there's a difference. It really adds body to the music. It doesn't. It's unless you're listening to rap music and then you absolutely need the subwoofer.
Kaboom.
Right, but it doesn't make it all boomy. It doesn't make it like explosions. It just adds a subtle body and fullness to the music.
And also, it's also if your receiver is set up correctly and you're going, to the sub from the sub out, the receiver no longer has to focus on the amplifier that's built into the receiver. It doesn't have to focus on producing those low bass frequencies, and the amplifier can better perform at the mid levels and the high frequency levels, and perform more efficiently. Make your regular speakers sound better too. I mean, it does make a difference. It takes some of the pressure off of them to reproduce that low bass stuff. Makes a big difference. Makes a huge difference, actually. And frankly, and there's some debate as to who invented the powered subwoofer and the rest of it. Whether it was Ken Kreisel and whatever Miller's first name is, because I don't know. Miller,
I don't remember.
M&K, Miller and Kreisel. Whoever brought it out to market first, whoever was. The concept then was, to have these little satellites and be able to use the woofer thing. And now it's been realized that, frankly, even with the big towers, even with the big giant speakers, it's nice to have the subwoofers that are totally focused on reproducing low frequency and tight, clean, accurate bass. All right, we're going to switch topics again.
Okay.
But we are going to remind everybody about the moving sale that's going on right now. Take advantage of these crazy deals. 191st and LaGrange Road, where Mokina meets I-80. Email us at info@thelittleguys.com. Call us at 708-754-8844. Come and see us. The moving sale is ongoing, and some just awesome deals, from furniture and seating to manufacturers' signs to woofers and cables and speakers and in-wall and on-wall and receivers, all kinds of electronics, projectors, screen deals that are insane. I mean, there's a 130-inch motorized screen that there's a deal on. There's a $15,000 Stewart brick screen that you can buy for a couple of $1,000. There's some just crazy good deals. So come on in and take advantage of us and our situation that we're in, where we have to downsize and move, or maybe downsize and stay. We don't know yet. So just trying to put the cards on the table. So
yeah, and when you mentioned furniture. Our store is set up very much like, living rooms and things around. Just cocktail tables, coffee tables, side tables.
Some mirrors.
A couple mirrors. Right. It's all the decor is on sale.
All the line conditioning and surge protection from Furman and Panamax. There are some Furman deals that are, I think they start at 25 and 30% off. There are some exceptional deals on that kind of stuff, so you could take advantage of those. Furman is one of the best line conditioning and surge protection companies in the business, and there's a lot of varied products from them, depending on the scale of your equipment and what you should have, from as little as under $100 to as much as a couple of $1,000 if you want to. So come and take advantage of that, and heck, point at something, it's probably for sale.
Except that one table, the one that everyone asks about.
Right, that table is not for sale. You cannot have it. Headphones too. There's a lot of different headphones, a lot of different headphone products for sale from PSB and Klipsch, and I believe there's a pair of. Are
there still Sennheisers?
There's a
couple pairs
of open Sennheisers. Right. Harman Kardon. There's a God, I can't believe it. Grado. There's a Grado or Grado, depending on your perspective. Set of headphones left. There's one pair of those left. There's all kinds of.
Do we sell the Beats?
I don't know. There was a pair of Beats sitting over there.
Studios?
Yeah, Beats Studios for under $100. I mean, there's some crazy good deals. So come and take advantage. What else? There was one other thing we were going to talk about. Now it's in my old age, as I sit here or whatever, and I didn't write the notes down. I'm trying to think. Oh, I know. The LG OLED TVs.
That's not bad.
And the Sony OLED TVs are all on display for you to experience and check out and see. For the plasma lovers out there, for the people who had to have the black level and had to have the detail and the rest of it, I'm telling you, we can make you happy.
Right. Instead of thinking about spending thousands of dollars getting your plasma fixed.
Right.
Because
your 8-year-old Panasonic is going to die. It's going to happen.
Even if you could get the parts, you don't have to hang on to that.
I didn't realize. We've been watching in one of the rooms at our house. We've been watching a Hitachi plasma, Director Series, high-end plasma. And when we got it, it was great. But I didn't realize, 8 years later, 10 years later, that frankly the picture's not nearly as good as these televisions today, and the better LEDs, and for sure the OLEDs from both LG and Sony. I love the Sony ones especially, and the LG ones are really, really good too. And we sell a lot of both. Just a matter of dollars and cents and where you want to be at. And they are available in 55, 65, and now 77 inch. The LG 77 is now available. It's up there. It's about, I don't want to say the wrong price, but I think it's around 15,000 or whatever. But it's up there. But it's an amazing television. So you should come and check that out. We don't have the 77 on display. We have the 65 and the 55 on display for you to experience in the different series.
The 55 and the 65 are both, completely reasonable prices. You shouldn't
it's not
assume that from 77 to 65, does that mean the 65 is 10,000? No, absolutely
not.
When
OLED first came out, and they were all $8,000 to $14,000. Right now, they're all under $5,000. So and significantly under $5,000. So there's some great deals and great performing products. Those are on display as well for you, and all the installation and service and all the things you always get from the little guys is available as well. All right?
All right.
We promised to abbreviate it. We want to thank everybody for listening. Thank everybody for paying attention. Please check us out at thelittleguys.com. Email us, info@thelittleguys.com. Call the store, 708-754-8844. And remember, 191st and LaGrange Road, where Mokina meets I-80. We are the Little Guys, and we are
out of here.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.